Aloha mahalo as we look at OKO Punch Counter number 5. The attacker is going to be coming in left foot forward with a regular straight punch. Once again, this is in our green zone, 12 o'clock, straight in front of us. Hands in the ready position, defensive position, left leg slightly forward. As he comes in, I'm going to step slightly back or slightly forward depending on my distance. As I do so, I'm going to do an inward brush block and an outward block, what we call a double tap. We're going to block at almost the same time using a syncopated motion. In other words, syncopated sequence of notes. One is on the beat, but the second is slightly after, almost like eighth note delays. One is slightly after the other. So once again, ready position, left foot slightly forward. We're going to brush block, strike. My right hand is now going to come down and grab the arm, and I'm going to pass through so I can get a baseball grip on his arm. Once again, from the beginning. Brush, block, grab, circle through, baseball grip. I'm modifying his height and his width at the same time. I'm going to control release with my right hand, contouring up his arm, striking, either shuto, knife hand, or a fist to the side of the head, distracting him. Now I have control. I can borrow his balance and borrow force. Left foot slightly forward. We're going to brush block, parry, grab, pass through, baseball grip, strike to the side of the head, borrow balance, borrow force with the knee, and as I land with the knee, I immediately want to step back with my left foot as I push down on his head, pushing it under a self-control of his arm to put his head down towards the ground. Self-control arm is going to go across my leg. Right is going to go into a close, what we call a close kneel, pressing on his ribs. I self-control the left arm. Then follow-up techniques. Either ground and pound or poke, stomp, cross, and cover out. Once again, stay tuned for concepts and principles in OKO Punch Counter number 5. As we look at OKO Punch Counter number 5. Now once again, in Punch Counter number 5, it's introducing some new things for us. Number 1, at the very beginning, we have the double tap. So left leg slightly forward. The double tap is the inward brush block with the outward block, whether it's open hand or closed hand. It's going to be 1-2. As I do so, now that allows me to be able to grab and to control. So we have a double tap, and now we're reintroducing the pass through. I'm going to rotate his arm that I have control over now with my grip into a pass through for that baseball bat grip. In other words, if I grab this stick, here comes the punch, right? Brush block to bring it off the line. Here's the block and strike, which actually could be a break. I'm going to grab, control release with my left hand because I'm going to pass through the arm to get that baseball bat grip. Now the stick is his arm. I want to now contour. I'm going to use his arm as a guide. My right hand's going to control release to then contours up his arm and either hammer fist or knife hand, shuto chop to the side of his neck. Once again, as I do so, I am going to actually push and pull. I'm pushing with my right hand and I'm pulling, notice, with the left. Pulling him into it. I'm creating that borrowed force once again. So if two cars are colliding at 30 miles an hour each, we have a 60 mile an hour crash. We're going to create that 60 mile an hour crash. My left hand is pulling him into the strike. My right hand is pushing into the strike. We have our 60 mile an hour collision. So once I've struck the side of his neck, I've got my contouring and push-pull. I'm going to grab and hook. I'm going to borrow his balance for the knee. Once again, I'm borrowing his balance, and once again, borrowed force. I'm pushing him down as my knee comes up. Two cars colliding 30 miles an hour each is a 60-mile-an-hour crash. So as I finish the knee and step back, what I'm going to do is my left foot now is going to step back to create room, because I want to put him down on the ground. So far, right now I have 2 points of contact. I'm going to step back out of the way, push his head down. I'm going to maintain control over his right arm. As I push his head down, I'm going to control release with my right hand, and I'm going to allow my left hand to bring his arm across my leg. Now I'm going to have 3 points of contact at his shoulder, at my leg, and at my hand, which is near his wrist. From there, I'm going to use what we call a close kneel stance. You saw it earlier in the breakdown, but a close kneel, as I step back and I rotate, I'm going to drop my height to drop my knee into his ribs, preventing him from squirming around. Plus, I now have control over his arm, which we call the shoulder crank, and then follow up. So what concepts and principles have we seen here in OKO Punch Counter number 5? We have the double tap. We have pass through. We have modifying our opponent's height, width, and depth, giving us time. We have control releases. So once again, from the baseball grip, I'm going to control release to strike. As I bring him down, I'm going to control release his head in order to re-grab his arm. We have the push and pull. From the baseball grip to the strike is the push and pull. We have the push and pull with the knee strike. We have borrowed balance and borrowed force twice. Once with the push-pull and with the knee strike, and borrowed balance with the knee strike. And the close kneel stance, which is an introduction for OKO Kajikembo. And you guys already do it, there's just a name for it. And 3 points of contact, which we're seeing all throughout these techniques. Man, there's a lot in OKO Punch Counter number 5, and a lot more coming up in number 6. It's exciting. I'm having fun, if you guys can't tell. It's fun drawing these things out of the system and be able to explain it to you, giving new terminology and maybe some new understanding for some of you, be able to impart to your students, or if you are a student, something for you to help latch on to and to understand your system. Anyways, aloha, mahalo.